In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Bridgette Tharp, and she is hailing over from the team at AdQuick. She's a senior marketing manager, and AdQuick is essentially an OOH advertising solution, but made it easy in this case, right? So it's all about, being able to run the out-of-home advertising in a much easier way, much more coordinated. And the website actually says it without all the headaches. So, Bridgette, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So maybe give us a quick overview, 360 bird's eye perspective. What is AdQuick all about?
Yeah, I love it. Your description was great. Thank you for that. So yeah, AdQuick is a platform where you're able to build, manage, and measure your out-of-home campaigns. So to take a quick step back for those who aren't necessarily as familiar with out-of-home. So it's quite literally all types of advertising that you see outside of your home. So billboards, those are the obvious examples. But you can go even further than that and think like bus stops or car wraps or wallscapes, even the seat in your grocery store ad that probably has your local realtor on it, all out-of-home advertising. So before AdQuick, building an out-of-home advertising campaign consisted of doing a ton of research, contacting multiple vendors and crossing your fingers and hoping that the units look the way they say they look. Then you're managing multiple deadlines and sending your creatives to multiple different people and having to keep that organized and on top of it all on your own. Mm-hmm. So we built a platform with a map-based UI, very similar to Zillow, where you're able to build your out-of-home campaign. And we took it a step further. If you're already doing digital advertising like Facebook or Google Analytics, you can actually connect that to your to AdQuick. So that helps with targeting that specific audience if you've already found them. If you're not doing that, we're still able to target that audience when building your out-of-home campaign. So basically you give us the marching orders, we'll put that together for you. And then at the end of your campaign, we will give you your performance data.
Okay, very good. Now that gives a very clear overview. Now, which types of organizations? I mean, obviously we know the types of organizations that we see on the platforms and on the bus stops and the likes, but maybe tell us a little bit more like what types of organizations benefit most from AdQuick.
Yeah, I think that honestly, we work with both B2B and B2C. Typically, we're seeing a lot more kind of startups with funding of 20 million or higher are the ones that are investing in out of home, at least in multi-market campaigns, which is typically who kind of benefits most. We're not as big in local campaigns. We're more efficient for marketers who are looking to build national or even global out-of-home campaigns. We're really kind of helping there. We also work with brands who are quite literally just getting into out-of-home and have no idea where to start. There are so many, I guess, kind of myths of out-of-home that people hold on to. And so there's this big ominous cloud and kind of deterring people from wanting to start. So we're a really solid resource for brands who are just getting into out of home as well.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. Now, who within those organizations would typically reach out? Is there like an out-of-home campaign manager? Is there like does it even come from higher up in the organizations? Who is sort of the typical person that is the champion for AdQuick within the organization?
Yeah, that is an interesting question because I feel like a marketing title holds so many different roles now that there's really not one specific title that we're working with all the time. We can go from the CMO to a marketing manager or an integrated marketing manager, a brand manager, performance marketing manager. We're working with marketing. Basically, we're working with marketing. Typically, we're not working with those who work on social campaigns. But like I said, for some startups who are brand new to out of home, they may be dipping their toes. The digital marketing manager may be dipping their toes into out of home as well. So marketing, we're working with the marketing department.
Very cool. Now, how does marketing learn about AdQuick? What's the journey that people are going through? What's the channels that you guys are exploring?
Yeah, so our website is always the final touch point. We are constantly optimizing each page on our website, each call to action on each landing page of our website. So all of the additional channels that we're exploring, we typically drive back to a resource on our website. LinkedIn is a big platform for us. So LinkedIn and Twitter are two that we try to focus on. We're driving kind of more revenue from that or more business from that. And then, like I said, our website, newsletters, and I also, like I mentioned before, we have an advertiser growth team who's honestly kind of a team of ninjas. They are pretty passionate about the platform and find out of the box ways to talk to marketers about it. So lots of different avenues that we're taking to chat with marketers. But at the end of the day, I think the website is typically where we're driving everybody back to.
Now, you mentioned the website plays a key role. Like, how do you personally think about the page in terms of sort of, a lot of marketers we talk to, they see the website as an ever evolving piece, of course, and there might be some strengths, there might be some weaknesses or some room for improvement, to put it like that. Where do you currently see sort of a strength of the AdQuick page versus where do you see further room to, maybe explore further or, bring in some improvements?
Sure. I think a strength of our website is we have really tools for any type of industry. So we have multiple different types of toolkits. We have multiple resources to go back to. So we're very value driven and we're constantly watching the patterns and the trends and kind of what our target audience is most interested in, trying to create value and making sure our website shows that front and center. I think some areas of improvement, and I think these are constant areas of improvement for any business, is really kind of having that emotional connection on the website, right? So speaking more to our audience, to our customers, as to how we are, I guess, emotionally benefiting them. That's not the word that we're looking for here, but essentially talking more to them and less about the product, I think, is something that we're kind of trying to grasp a little bit better. Right now, we are very product driven, and rightfully so. I think that we have a really amazing product and really amazing service, and so because out of home seems so complicated to so many people when you're just dipping your toes in, we're trying to get that message across. So I think kind of finding that balance of, having that emotional connection while also getting the point across of the simplicity that out of home can be.
That makes sense. We had a marketer on the show that actually put it quite nicely. Who said, you don't want to explain the plane, you want to explain the holiday destination.
Yes. So, I love that. Exactly.
So it's very cool. Now, what have you learned over the years? I mean, you spoke about that emotional angle, like that value, emotional driven angle on the website. What else have you learned over the years? Can be with AdQuick, can be in previous roles, when it comes to converting people on the website. Any tools, approaches, methods that you find helpful?
I think that honestly, so converting people on the website, I think it's more so of the full customer journey for me. That's what I've grasped the most. The website is the final conversion, but to get to that, you have to have first somehow built that relationship or gained their trust for them to even land here to fill out that call to action form. So paying attention to the patterns and tracking every step of the process, every step of the way. That's important. Those were steps that I skipped for a while because I felt like I could, get there without it. Like I'm doing all of these things. It will work somehow. Everything will come together in some way. But the efficiency of really tracking each touch point of your customer's process has made kind of getting over that finish line so much easier, I think, for both us and for our audience, for our customers as well. So that is definitely something that I try to focus on now. And I try to remember we're doing a newsletter ad, and I initially was just passing over a link that was completely untrackable. And it occurred to me, like, wait a minute, we have no way of knowing what's coming from this campaign without, so had to go back and recheck. So something I still constantly have to remind myself, but that is what I have found to be most important, to track everything.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, appreciate you giving us an insight into sort of the world of marketing and AdQuick. I would love to learn more a little bit about sort of your daily work. Like, what sort of are, if we imagine like a day of Bridgette, like what's sort of the types of projects that you would be working on? Maybe tell us high level a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is an interesting time for this question because 2 weeks ago, I was actually, I think you may have met Lena, who was our head of marketing. And honestly, she's taught me so much in just a short time that we've worked together. She actually moved on. And so I am officially kind of on my own with all of these projects at the moment, which has been a lot of fun. So a day in my role right now, actually, for an example, when we get off of this call, I have a newsletter going out today. We're kind of changing up the template of the newsletter. So we're going to test this out, some bite-sized content. And then I have 2 blog outlines to put together. I have a couple of calls that I'm going to be taking later on, just demoing new marketing products and seeing if that may be, valuable for us. And then of course, planning for Q4, we're quite literally starting Q4 on Monday. So we're pushing, holiday content and, moving to our next vertical. So I think that it's a lot of building content, a lot of blogs, newsletters, events, awards. We run our own out-of-home campaigns, both on our own and working with clients. So there's a lot of different things that are going on. And right now I'm still just kind of adapting to the new role, but always exciting, never a dull moment.
Very good. Now I got some rapid fire questions to get to know you and your journey a little bit better. Are you ready for those?
I hope so.
What is the last book that you read?
Ooh, I am actually currently reading Dare to Lead by Brene Brown.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Growth. I know that's a kind of a boring answer, but growth.
If there would be no boundaries in tech, what's the one thing that you would fix for your role as a marketer?
No boundaries. So I heard you, I kind of want to challenge. So I was listening to your podcast and I kind of want to challenge this question for a second, because you asked somebody if there was a tech magic wand. And so I was thinking about this and kind of what I feel like would help my day-to-day so much. And I was thinking, and tell me, maybe you have this as well, but I have probably 200 screenshots of things that, people's posts that influence me, that, I like that style of content. I like how they're speaking, things like that. So my desktop is essentially all screenshots of, content that I like, I enjoy, and it influences me. I think it would be really cool if there were a tool that could sync to my desktop, but also connect to our website or maybe different, data, and then create content for me, just like a constant content generator.
Based on what you're seeing, you just like
Exactly.
automate the step. Nice.
I like this style. Look at all of my screenshots. So take this information, pull data from the website. This is the type of content that I need. And then just constantly creating me content. If that was off my plate, that would be wonderful.
Sounds pretty good. And the very last question I would like to ask you, right? If we do a little bit of time travel, we go back to the days of University of South Alabama. Now you're heading out of education into the world of, you've been in sales and in marketing roles, for example. What would be the one advice that you would give yourself for your journey?
Oh, there were so many different stepping stones between South Alabama to here and getting into marketing. I think that for my role in marketing in general, it's always changing, it's always evolving, and everybody, I think, is just winging it. So the idea of needing to be perfect, or the fear of kind of putting yourself out there, and this could go for my sales role as well, just go for it. Whatever that idea was, go for it. And you're going to fail, and that's okay. It's, everybody does. Don't take it personally. That's how you learn and that's how you grow. And also, I think there are going to be a lot of different opinions on what you should do or how you should do things. I think you can listen, but I encourage not applying everything or feeling like you have to, because it's very overwhelming and very stressful. So yeah, definitely more than one piece of advice there, but yeah, I think that's what it's.
Very cool. Bridgette, I really appreciate you joining us for the show today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about AdQuick, what's the one thing that people should remember about the company?
Yeah, AdQuick is a resource. So if you're already running out-of-home advertising campaigns, there's really no harm in seeing if you can learn more with AdQuick, if it can make your job more efficient and less stressful and more successful. And if you haven't done out-of-home advertising campaigns, then it's kind of, doing your due diligence to learn a little bit more about AdQuick and create a well-rounded marketing mix. So take the call with AdQuick, see if we can help with your, kind of streamlining your out-of-home advertising campaign or optimizing the marketing strategy you already have in play.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathwing Presents.
Thank you so much for having me.